Look at your phone. Now look at the chair you're sitting on. I can guarantee that both objects are held together by an invisible force you completely take for granted. That force is called adhesion. By exploring a world without it for just one day, we can see how fragile everything truly is. And we are about to learn, in the most catastrophic way possible, that our civilization is held together by little more than very, very stubborn stickiness. Hour 4. Alara is stuck in traffic. Not because of the volume of cars, but because the cars themselves are having a crisis of identity. A modern automobile isn't just welded and bolted, it's bonded. There are over 15 kilograms of industrial adhesives in the average vehicle. High-strength epoxies and acrylics that join metal panels, secure glass, and dampen vibrations. It's a rolling testament to chemical engineering. And right now, all that engineering has clocked out. Her rearview mirror drops into her lap with a thud. Outside, a symphony of vehicular disintegration is underway. Windshields, no longer bonded to their frames, begin to shudder and slip, held in only by gravity and prayer. Body panels, once seamlessly joined, vibrate loose, creating a cacophony of rattles and shrieks. A plastic bumper falls off a car ahead of her with a hollow clatter. These aren't accidents, they are deconstructions. The highways are becoming scrapyards in real time. We're not just watching cars break down, we're watching them break up. Hour 8. Alara, having abandoned her disintegrating car, finally reaches the gleaming office tower where she works. As an architect, she understands the forces at play in a skyscraper better than anyone. She looks at the grand laminated glass doors at the entrance and sees something terrifying. The glass looks milky, fractured within. Laminated glass is a sandwich. 2 sheets of glass with a sticky polymer interlayer. This layer holds the glass together when it shatters. Without adhesion, that interlayer is just a useless sheet of plastic. The safety glass of the world has reverted to simple, shatter-prone plate glass. Inside, the problem is worse. The trendy plywood desks are delaminating, their thin veneers curling up like dry leaves. Plywood's strength comes from gluing thin layers of wood together, with the grain of each layer perpendicular to the last. Without the glue, it's not a strong, rigid board. It's a flimsy stack of wood shavings. And then Alara looks up at the ceiling at the massive, exposed structural beams. They aren't solid oak. They're glulam beams, glue-laminated timber. Dozens of smaller boards bonded together to create a beam stronger than a solid one. Except now, they aren't bonded. They are just stacks of wood, bearing a load they were never meant to carry alone. The building groans, not a sound of settling, but of protest. The structural integrity of our modern architecture is now officially negotiable. Hour 12, midnight, the halfway point. And this is when the true horror unfolds, silently, 10,000 meters in the air. We've moved beyond inconvenient and into the realm of the unthinkable. Consider the modern passenger jet, a marvel like the Boeing 787 Dreamliner. We think of planes as being made of aluminum and rivets, but the Dreamliner is over 50% composite materials by weight. Carbon fiber reinforced polymer. It's a beautiful, lightweight, and incredibly strong material. And what holds those carbon fibers together in their polymer matrix? What joins the massive sections of the fuselage and wings? Adhesive. Acres and acres of high-performance, aerospace-grade epoxy, not as a backup, but as the primary structural component. Unlike rivets, which concentrate stress at specific points, adhesives distribute the load over a massive surface area, creating a stronger, lighter airframe. It's a brilliant piece of engineering, and at hour 12, every square centimeter of that brilliant engineering fails simultaneously. There is no explosion, no fire, just a quiet, horrifying disassembly in the cold darkness of the upper atmosphere. Wings, no longer a single cohesive structure, delaminate under the strain. Fuselage panels, bonded together over an area the size of a tennis court, simply let go. For a few terrifying moments, a passenger jet becomes a collection of individual parts, flying in a loose, doomed formation, before gravity reasserts its dominance. All over the planet, a fleet of the most advanced machines ever built simply ceases to exist. The global air traffic network vanishes from the sky. Hour 16. The plague of unstickiness has burrowed deep into the heart of our technology. Alara is at home now, the city outside unnervingly quiet. Her phone, which she's been using to get frantic updates, suddenly goes dark. Then her laptop, then the lights flicker and die. The electrical grid is failing. Inside every single microchip, the tiny silicon die is attached to its packaging with a conductive adhesive. On the circuit board itself, many surface mount components, capacitors, resistors, the tiny brains of the operation, are held in place not just by solder, but by dabs of epoxy, a process called underfilling. This adhesive protects the delicate connections from the constant assault of vibration and thermal expansion. Without it, the simple act of a cooling fan spinning up is enough to cause microscopic fractures. One by one, the connections fail. The servers that run our logistics, our banking, our communications, our power grids, they are all going silent. The complex, interconnected brain of our civilization is suffering a terminal, global stroke. And the consequences grow more personal. In hospitals, the adhesives on IV dressings, surgical tapes, and even the bonding agents in dental fillings are failing. Medical implants held in place with biomedical cement are coming loose. It's a quiet, pervasive, and complete systemic collapse, all stemming from the loss of one simple fundamental force. Hour 23, minute 59. Alara sits in the dark of her apartment. The building occasionally shudders, a terrifying reminder of its compromised glulam beams. A long strip of wallpaper hangs from the ceiling, swaying gently. It's been 23 hours and 59 minutes of the world coming apart. A world without adhesion is a world without structure, without technology, without cohesion. It's a return to a state of loose, disconnected components. What happens when the clock ticks over? Hour 24 and 1 second. It happens instantly. The universal switch flips back on. Adhesion returns. But this is not a magical reset button. The world doesn't snap back into place. Instead, it freezes in its current state of disarray. The half-peeled wallpaper on Alara's wall doesn't reattach itself. The loose strip instantly bonds to the dust motes in the air, and the section of wall it's now touching, creating a bizarre, permanent paper loop. The shoe sole she left on the sidewalk is now a permanent part of the concrete. The car parts littering the highways are instantly glued to the asphalt where they fell. The delaminated plywood desk in her office becomes a solid, useless block of warped, misaligned veneers. The resticking isn't a solution. It's a second, even stranger catastrophe. Anything touching anything else now has the potential to be permanently bonded. The world has become a global, chaotic art installation created by a madman. Rebuilding won't just be a matter of putting things back together. It will involve painstakingly breaking apart all the things that are now stuck together wrong. We built our gleaming, high-tech world on a foundation of steel, concrete, and silicon, but we forget the silent partner in that construction. We forget the humble, invisible power of just sticking. The chemical bonds in a liter of epoxy, the intermolecular forces on a strip of tape, the simple, tenacious grip of glue. We think of strength as rivets and welds, but the truth is, our civilization is held together by something far more subtle. It's an act of faith in the quiet, persistent, and utterly essential power of two surfaces deciding to hold on. So the next time you peel a sticky note, maybe give it a little nod of respect. It's doing more heavy lifting than you think, and frankly, after a day like that, it could probably use the encouragement.